Buying or finding a new home should not be stressful or boring. With over 14 years experience, Good Time Tommy has spent his time building strategies, tips, and content that will help you, the new homeowner or seasoned homeowner, get the best deal for your money. Educate, navigate, and celebrate. Because whether you're buying or selling, you're going to get more traffic to your property promotion on every channel, and watch as Tommy and his team work until you are satisfied. Your new home awaits you with Good Time Tommy and his team. Subscribe, like, and follow at GoodTimeTommy.com. That's GoodTimeTommy.com.
But there's also a very other simple but important shot here, and that's this 50-50. It's a good confidence.
The outsider. Look, the outsiders are taking Pony Boy to the hospital, man. Did you say Pony?
He got hurt in the Rumble.
So did you say Pony Boy was your favorite?
No, Johnny.
Who's that with him? What's wrong up there? Are you kids greasers? Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get the Rumble going. Are we live? We're live, Weatherman. Oh, hey, we're sideways. Can we fix it?
What about this weekend? Or how about Monday night next week?
Yeah. Man, I hate my phone. I hate it. It'll probably come right back if you...
Are we live?
Well, it takes us a minute to... Man, I hate that phone. You're going to try... Now, here's what might happen. Well, it'll stay like this. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, but you like it gooder.
We're
whenever.
sideways.
Now, look, it's one of Cousin Charlie. I don't understand what Cousin Charlie is doing on the phone. We got to bring more awareness. What are you doing in there? It's a lead. Oh, Cousin Charlie, if it's a lead, it's a lead.
I think he always says it's a lead.
Now, guess what I've been doing?
I think he's talking to somebody.
Guess what I've been doing, Weatherman?
I don't know.
I'll show you. Do you know who that is?
Pony Boy.
Hey, watching you, Pony Boy. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's 1 o'clock. That means it's time for Real Estate 101. Hey, Candace, thank you for getting on here. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in every Wednesday, 1 o'clock. Me and my sidekick, a.k.a. the Weatherman.
That's
me. We're gonna bring you live real estate content. If you've got any questions, just ask us. Hey, we're off the cuff. If you want to call in, you can call in at 615-867-3020. Ask us any question that you would like. Before we get started, Weatherman always does the announcements.
Yes.
Weatherman, go ahead. What's the announcements?
We wanted to give a shout out to our sponsors. We want to definitely thank, we had lunch with a great friend of ours and one of the smartest guys we know, Scott Abernathy at PMI. So if you're looking for property management, he is your guy without a doubt. We also want to thank the big guy, John Jones, for allowing us to do this. We want to give a shout-out to our girl, Belinda Aaron.
Hey, and a shout-out to Jamie Stillman. He's always on here.
And Jamie Stillman, who definitely is involved with us. He calls us. He reaches out. So Iberia Mortgage, they go the extra mile for us. We couldn't do it without you guys. So we want to thank you so very much. Premier Title, thank you so much for handling all of our closings. And our good buddy and one of our best friends, the trout magnet himself, he'll hook him trout, Roy Frazier.
He'll hook you up with
And I'm
some
going to
insurance.
tell you what he will do. He will take care of all your insurance needs. He personally does my family's insurance, and I've never been happier with any other insurance agent like I am with him. So give Roy Frazier a call if you're looking for insurance. He'll do it all.
He'll do it all. Hey, everybody, thank you for getting on here, Brad, Katina,
I'm gonna make insurance for, like, in case I lose my hair or something.
I'm
afraid I won't be able to sell
as
as much.
Everybody say hey if you're on here so I'll know, because I do want to thank you, Brad. I don't know if you're here, Katina. I see yours. Hope you're doing well, Katina. Jay Cash, CJ Wyatt. Cousin Charlie, are you here? My good buddy Jimbo Hooten, he's on here. Hey, Jimbo. Jimbo, you need to tell people why they need to use Hooten's Pest Control.
Hey, Jay Cash, man, I want to give you props. I've seen a lot of your stuff. Man, you're definitely out there on social media.
Jay
you're doing
Cash
your thing.
is the best at promoting himself.
Man, that's a bad. He's a good guy, but he is very good at what he does, and he is very, very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable. And you know what? I've had some deals with him, or I've talked to him about some potential
I sold
deals.
a house with Jay before.
And Jay will give you the best advice. So if you're thinking about an auction, Jay Cash is somebody I would call because he will give you the upside and the downside if you should do it. But
and it doesn't have to be a house auction. It could be a fundraiser auction. It could be a lot of different things. He's involved in, and hey, Jay Cash can auction from here to Australia, I think. Man, that sucker, he can do auctions everywhere, can't he?
I think he was in British Columbia, down the British Virgin Islands. Katina, you can do some credit restorations. Hey, what if we send you somebody that needs their credit fixed?
Oh, you
you going to send them back to us? Katina, that's what I want to know. Brad, I'm waiting for you. Ken Earp, how are you? Okay, let's get started. Everybody in the audience, we got a few celebrities. Stevie Zavisa, a.k.a. what's your nickname today?
Pony Boy.
Oh, I don't like that nickname. I got a new nickname for your wife. I'm going to call her Sissy from Urban Cowboy. Sissy. And we got Cousin Charlie. And, of course, I cannot do it without Kathleen Sparkle McWilliams. Yes, with a free or referral fee. Come on, Katina. Hey, I see you go all the way up to Clarksville. So if we got anybody up there, or really, we like to sell within this little box.
Yeah,
actually, we
probably like 2 miles. So if we could sell within 2 miles, it'd be awesome.
All right, let's get this party started. Right now, what I'm going to talk about. Hey, I haven't said this. I almost forgot. Share this stream.
Ho, ho, ho,
Share
ho,
the
ho,
stream.
Ho. Stop the press. I forgot our favorite sponsor.
Who?
Brittany Renee at the Exchange.
Oh, well, Brittany don't ever tune in anymore.
Well, I take it back in.
No, let's go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just
we'll
kidding.
Go ahead and give it to her. Brittany Renee, guys, if you're looking to take care of your lady friend and want to go by and check out some cool clothes, cool accessories, they also have I think a massage therapist maybe over in the vicinity, but definitely go over and check out Brittany Renee at the Exchange Boutique.
My buddy Stormy Crook is on here, an East Tennessee gentleman now. So, hey, please share the stream. We'll go in here. We always pick one person that shared the stream. We hook you up with the Alley on Main, our favorite restaurant here in Murfreesboro. $25 gift card will be shared with the person that we choose. So, hey, Cousin Charlie, Stevie Zavisa, play along with me and a.k.a. the Weatherman. What we're talking about today is home is listed. We're not going to identify how long it's been on the market. Let's just say a home is listed. You've got a client. They want to make an offer. We've looked around. They want to make an offer. What should their first offer be?
Well,
let's talk about some scenarios.
So what he means by home is listed means it's on the market. You can go look at it.
Yeah.
Okay, now y'all play
right.
along.
No. So, okay.
I just wanted to make
sure.
Cousin
Charlie, you're buying, or I'm going to buy a house. You're my agent. Home's listed at $300,000.
Why is he your agent?
Well, because he's out there. He's out there. He's one of the 42 people in attendance right now. So,
okay.
Oh, Brad Elam has already commented highest and best off the bat. So if you don't get your, okay, man, I can't see. I gotta get my I need to get my eyes. Okay, so if I've got somebody the house listed at $300,000, and they're like, Cousin Charlie, we've seen this house. We want you to get us inside of it. We've looked through Zillow or whatever they're on. Truly, whatever. That information's wrong. But anyway,
Steven.MurfreesboroHomesOnline.com.
So you get out there and they want to make an offer, and they ask you, Cousin Charlie, what should I offer? It's listed at $300,000. What should I offer? We're thinking about $250, $275. What do you think?
I think whatever that number is, it's got to be somewhere you say, if I lose it, I'm fine with it. You've got to be all in. You can't say, well, we're going to stick, a couple toes in the water. You've got to go all in with your offer to where if you don't get it, you're okay with it.
Hey, Katina says run a CMA first. The CMA will tell you what it should sell for based on comparable sales.
Adam Wright,
my best friend,
watching.
Adam Wright, all the way from Florida. Okay, well, here's something I would say you need to know. Number one, okay? Number
So
one.
in other words, what he said didn't really.
No, Cousin Charlie, you're exactly right. That's exactly what I would tell somebody. But here's the most important factor, I believe, is how long has this thing been on the market? So if you're somebody, Stevie, and you want to make an offer on something that was just listed yesterday, how much flexibility do you think they're going to have in that? You think?
Hey, I love it when they don't pay attention to what you're saying.
I love when he's
ask that
joking.
question
Let's
again.
ask Cousin Charlie. The seller, maybe we didn't clarify everything with Stevie. The seller just listed their home yesterday.
Just listed their home yesterday.
Okay, I'm listening.
Just listed their home yesterday.
Stevie was over there looking how pretty he is. I know what he was doing. They just listed it yesterday. How much flexibility do you believe that seller's going to have in that home?
Not a lot at all.
That's a better answer than the
There
last
you
one.
go, Stevie Z. So the days on the market actually matters. So the first day, you're probably going to be lucky if it's not a multiple offer pretty soon thereafter. After about 30 days,
Blair Braswell is in there.
we got the funny man up in here. So after about 30 days, the seller has they've lost a little certainty that they can sell it for that price. At that point, they might say, their agent's going to say, maybe we need to reduce it. Okay, so usually at that price point, it's going to go from $299 down to $289. So how long has your house been on the market needs to go into consideration whenever you're making your first offer. So if the house was just listed, it's listed at $299, you really are probably going to have to pay extremely close to what they're asking. Now, does anybody want to, do we have any questions about did you have somebody ask a question about this earlier, Stevie?
Somebody asked a question about it. Why would you go in and lowball it?
Well, here's what happens. A few things happen when you lowball. Number one is if you do make them, they get emotional. And when they get emotional, they don't think as clear. And the agent, they get emotional as well, whether they say it or not, because it makes their job harder. So it goes to them, and they're like, I got to go in here, and they got to listen to their seller complain about it. So what ends up happening is you're going to create an environment that's probably not going to get your best counteroffer. But the most important thing that I see is whenever you make these type of offers, what it does, it gets the listing agent in a position to call other people that are interested and say, I've got an offer. So if you want to buy the house, you really need to do what Brad Elam said, where you come in there and make your highest and best and you walk away, kind of like what Cousin Charlie said. So if it's new on the market, brand new on the market.
Brand new.
If you want this thing, man, you're probably not going to have much,
leverage.
Probably not going to have much leverage, as Weatherman is saying. Would you agree, Weatherman?
I agree.
Is that all you got? I was counting on you for a few seconds. I got to catch my breath over here.
Well, what happens is most time, depending on the price point, when a house first comes on the market. Now, you got to remember, we have a new MLS system. So sometimes a house may contract the first day, and then it stops. So it looks like it's only been on the market for 2 days, and then something happens and it falls apart. So you got to be careful to make sure to see. So a great agent can look at the MLS numbers and know how long the house has actually been on the market. Or go back and look at the history to say, how many times has it been listed over the past years? Is it the first time? Has it been listed 5 or 6 times? And so you may have some leverage there. If they've been trying to sell this thing for 2 or 3 years and ain't sold it, maybe you got a little bit more motivation in there, and you may have a little bit more options.
Like as soon as a seller lists their home, that's when they probably have the most confidence. I'm going to be able to get what I want. Each day that ticks away, it kind of ticks away at their confidence. Moving along, number 2, if you're going to buy a home, you need to be aware of this. What price point am I buying in? If you're buying under $200,000, I can almost guarantee you that you're probably going to pay list or higher. Not in Clarksville, says Katina. You're right. Every single market is very geographical. It's very localized. What's going on in Murfreesboro, Tennessee? What the hell's that new thing flying across there? everything going on in Murfreesboro, Tennessee could be completely different than a town 40 miles from here, 50 miles from here. So be aware, number 2, of the up in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, there's more leverage to the buyer. If we're at $1 million, there's more leverage to the buyer than if you're at $200,000. At $200,000, what we see that's very frustrating is if we've got a coming soon and it's $179,000, we get somebody in there and they're unsure if they should buy it or not. Right. And it's exactly the house they would want. They would definitely settle for the house if they could get it, if they knew other people could get it. So what would happen if they don't buy this, we put it on the market, the next thing we'll know in 2 days we've got 7 or 8 offers. And it'll sell for $5,000 or $6,000 more than what we were asking for it. And the sellers control price, they control terms, they control just about every major decision in this transaction. As you go up a little bit higher, you got flexibility. Like in our upper end stuff, let's say $450. I think I can usually get Joey to probably pay. Man, he'll probably come off about $6,500 off those. Off that. Now that's also brand new, but sometimes he may not come off of anything. Where do you see Weatherman?
I'd say that we got to look at our market. So right now in Rutherford County, 150 and under doesn't exist. So it's almost like there's 5 houses in Rutherford County. So that one you can almost assure that you're $10,000, $15,000 over to get it, because investors are buying them up cash, and you're probably going to lose out. Anywhere to under 250, then there's a very, very competitive market. It's going to probably move very quickly the first day. As you start getting over the 300, you start getting a little bit more leverage. And like Tommy said, once you hit over 400, now what that means is because once you get over 400, it's a payment price compared to what people make in our area. So a $400,000 house, let's just say, is going to cost you, what, $2,000 a month? I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Yeah, so you're smart.
$2,000 a month. So now you have to figure in what job do I have that I can afford those. So that's why there's a lot of that leverage. Now, the reason we have the $400,000 houses now is because of our lot costs. We've already talked about that quite a bit. So you got to know what market you're in, like you said, what price point. And that's what it means by, because of what it is inventory. There's a shortage of inventory under 250. It gets a little bit better over 250. It's a lot better over 400. So if you can afford over $400,000 house, you have a lot of opportunity to get a lot of things.
Hey, are we frozen? What are you looking at over there? You're making me nervous, Stevie Z. So, yeah, I think you're very clear on that, Weatherman. The higher up we go, what you're pretty much saying is the higher we go up, there's more inventory available. So
and more opportunity.
There's more opportunity. So the bigger house you buy, hey, I appreciate all these likes. If you'd continue to share, like, comment, we'd greatly appreciate it. As you go up, you've got more leverage as the buyer. As you come down, you got a lot more leverage with the seller. Now, that's where we are today. This can shift. I have seen it shift before. Cousin Charlie, you got a question or comment? Anything?
No,
Blair Braswell, you got a question?
Number 3, you need to be aware of when you go out house hunting. Find the one you want. There is a difference in how you negotiate with a new home versus an existing home.
What do you mean by that?
Brand new homes are pretty much the way they do it is that's kind of all they can do, especially probably under $300,000. They're probably not going to come off very much. Cousin Charlie, is that a lead?
It is.
If you're under $300,000, they may offer some small, slight concessions.
If you use their lender.
If you use their lender.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah, so if you're somebody, be aware, you get pre-approved, you call Jamie Stillman at Iberia Bank. You're pre-approved by him. Now, what is very unfortunate is if you go to, who are some of the bigger?
Lennar Builders or something.
Lennar or somewhere like that. They will get you in there, and they'll say, if you use our guy,
we'll pay this.
We'll give you a sunroom or something like that if you use our guy. And you're like, man, that right there's $15,000 just to use their lender. So be aware that there's special incentives if you use some of the builders people. But if you're buying a brand new home, you really, really don't have a lot of leverage right now. As you go up, like I said, Joey Richardson, he's our builder at $450,000. You're going to get about maybe a 1 to 1.5%, if that, concession on the price. Now, again, they're not going to come down on their price because whenever they sell this, that is a comp. And the next person that comes to buy one of their homes, they see this works against them. So in this time, it hurts them. It hurts them negotiating on the other homes that they're trying to sell as well. So,
and we got to remember, on a lot of the new national builders and big builders, that the reason that they can offer those things is because they have a partnership with the lender, they have a partnership with the title company, and so that's why the incentives are so good. And now, hey, at the end of the day, whatever makes sense financially for you, they're all great lenders and they all do the same things for the most part. But that's one of the reasons they can offer you those extra incentives, and so it makes it tough to stay with somebody local if a big builder is offering $10,000 in upgrades. They may give you a $10,000 upgrade package to use their lender and their title company.
On an existing home, that means it's not owned by a builder. Pretty much, I guess that's the only way. I mean, it can still be newer. But if it's owned by an individual, we're going to call that an existing home, even if you've only owned it for a year.
Right.
More than likely, you're going to get a little bit of relief there as far as their negotiation, but it still comes back to number one. How long have they had this on the market?
You know what also hurts you on existing?
What?
That people can look at public records the tax is public records, so they can look and see what you owe on it. They can see when you bought it, how much you have in it. So automatically they think, well, shoot, they got $100,000 equity.
And that could come back to hurt the buyer, especially if they really, really want it.
Yep.
What if that tax record's wrong? What if they built the home and they didn't show what they actually had in the house? So it's very hard for a buyer to say, well, look, they only paid this for it back then. I'm not going to pay X. Well, that's not really accurate.
Right.
Because what's accurate is what the home is currently worth today. Is that clear, Stevie Z? Yep. Are you awake? Mm-hmm. When you hear the name Pony Boy, what's the first thing that goes through your mind?
A big fist.
Towards who? Man, that is the best nickname ever. I
love it.
It's almost as good as the Weatherman.
Blair, I love it.
Blair, is there a better nickname than Pony Boy?
Pony Boy's pretty good, but I tell you, I would rather say do it for Johnny.
Do it for Johnny. Well, maybe I could be Johnny. Could I be Johnny?
If you want. But
and you'll be Pony Boy?
Johnny dies? I don't want to be Johnny. All right,
we'll
moving along.
Just stop the movie before he dies.
Okay, all right. Cousin Charlie, you like Pony Boy, don't you? Would you rather be Cousin Charlie or Pony Boy?
Hey, let's ask this. Hey, do you know what Pony Boy, what the movie was?
I do know.
Cousin Charlie, that is
wow.
All right, well, let's keep going. Hey, who here
Show's
has seen the
over.
Outsider? We've got the Outsiders on here right now. Number 4, we're moving right along. If you're a buyer, what you need to be aware of. Has there been any recent price adjustments?
Did they reduce it?
Did they reduce it?
Or did they raise it?
Did they ever raise it?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, new construction, I have seen it go up. So what happens whenever, let's just throw a house out there, it's $299,000. They've reduced it down to $289,000 one day ago. How much flexibility do you believe that seller's going to have?
None, but everybody thinks, well, shoot, if they dropped it $10,000, let's go in 10 more thousand.
Well, that's the problem whenever you price too high. More than likely, this is a key stat right here, Lee Barnes. If you reduce your house one time, more than likely over time, history has shown us you'll reduce it 2.7 times. But Weatherman is right. I do believe people will start to think, well, man, maybe they're getting desperate. They reduced it. They need to sell it. Their mind starts playing with them, and they start thinking things that may or may not be accurate. So there is a big danger. What are you smiling at? There's a big danger whenever you overprice your home or you're not pricing it accordingly to what the market. But I do believe it's harder for sellers if they felt like, hey, my house is priced correctly, we're going to adjust it. They don't like to hear the word reduce. I like to adjustment. Excuse me, is a more powerful word, Cousin Charlie. We've adjusted it down $10,000.
You know what the worst part about buying a home with the price point and what people think they can do and can't do, what hurts you the worst?
Nope.
Contingencies.
Well, that's number 4 or number 5, Weatherman.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're not talking about that.
Let's
yet.
edit that out.
Yeah.
That way you sound smarter.
Yeah, let's. Yeah.
But no, I'm talking about contingencies as far as appraisals, as far as home inspections, as far as.
Have another house to sell.
Ooh, look at Pony Boy.
Okay, well,
Pony Boy.
Pony Boy, that's
Pony
next,
coming
Pony
in
Boy.
one time.
That will be next. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to use that in the next one. But hey, I do believe you can get a better deal if you're going to buy something with no contingencies, which means no financing, no home inspection, no appraisal, no nothing.
No, nothing.
Just can you sell this?
Cash.
Now, I don't know how much of an advantage do you think you'd get? A few $1,000.
What?
If I'm paying $300,000 cash, no appraisal, no nothing, no contingency, how much? If I offered $300,000 in cash, and Stevie offered $305,000, but he had a loan and appraisal.
I think it was about $10,000.
I don't think it's that much.
Yes. No appraisals, no inspections, no contingencies.
I think it's good.
Close fast. Oh man.
5 to 10.
5 to 10,000. So if I had a loan, if I had somebody going through Belinda Andrew or Jamie Stillman or somebody with Iberia Bank, I knew the other agent. I knew where they stood. You think you would forego $10,000?
Yes. For no home inspections, no. You're just talking about a lender. So are you still foregoing everything else, or is it?
No.
If you just buying it just like it said, don't do nothing. That's a for sure thing. So a lot of times that's a.
You can close in days. As
Yeah.
compared to-
Well,
it can happen. If you did a contingency, that other buyer on the other home could fall apart.
That's ooh.
So, I mean, is it worth 5,000?
Would you?
Well, I don't know. I guess
Would you call her
Sissy.
Sissy?
Urban Cowboy. She can sing and everything. Sissy from our audience. No, you know what? But you know what? If I had something and Weatherman was telling me, man, you need to go ahead and take this, I might listen to reason on that. But my initial emotions would be, I want to get the most money that I can get. But think about this. If you're selling your home, I would say on average you're spending about $1,500 on about any home inspection. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
By the time all the things are done and you've got to fix things, that's $1,500.
Even the as-is home inspections are never as-is. That's just a.
They've always got
It's
that
just
little.
a trick.
They got that little trump card. They the appraisal could always come in. I mean, we see appraisals all the time that come in $5,000 short. As a matter of fact, Blair Braswell, you had a house last year. How light was that appraisal? 2 different appraisals that were $30,000 light. Now,
Did you close on them? That's a bad boy back there.
he's
Pony Boy ought to run around with him.
he don't like that.
To run around with
I'm
Blair.
not even going to acknowledge who Pony Boy is anymore.
Not anymore.
He's in the movie. He's little Jerry Seinfeld. Okay, so number 1, be aware of the days on market. If it's close, if it's in the single digits, there ain't much flexibility whatsoever.
And if it's in a, that's right. Price point's the next one.
Number 2, price point. Thank you, Weatherman. Be aware of what price point you're in. In Murfreesboro, Tennessee, we really have a.
You forgot one.
What? I'm just gonna.
No, you forgot one. You ain't on your list.
What?
Area. Oh, it makes you mad when I'm right.
Yeah,
it is, yeah.
That
Yeah.
would because but we can add that. I'm still going. Still got to do number 5. Price point, but I feel like the price and the location should accommodate. But I guess maybe I do think you're right. Price point. Be aware of what price point you're in. If you're under $200,000, understand this. You're really at the mercy of the seller because you're competing with a big buyer of homes in our market that pays cash, but also there's not very many options for them. Number 2, is it new or is it existing? Or 3, number 4, price reduction. Have they recently lowered their price? If they've lowered their price, they're probably going to be a little more firm in what they're asking. Number 5, this is something that we really, really battle. A lot of people have a home they've got to sell, and they do not want to sell their home until they find a place to go. Their mind tells them this. I've got to sell this home before I can buy this house. I'm not selling this home until I find my house I want to go to. So here's what happens if you're going to be the person that's got to sell a home and buy one. You get probably this much. Do you know what that means, Stevie Z?
It's kind of like a zero.
That's zero. You're
Zilch.
going to get zero negotiation from the seller. Unless it's like $1 million house or maybe it's at such a high price point. The only way you're going to get consideration with your offer is if the seller has a lot of doubt they can sell it.
And there's a tremendous amount of folks right now that are doing that. They're out looking, they find their house, and then they want to buy. And a lot of agents are not saying, hey, look, this is not going to work. The market is too strong right now. If you're under 350 and you have a house to sell, chances are this isn't going to work out because, one, the new MLS system is all jacked up, so it shows under contract, so it hurts you as a seller. Number two, somebody else is going to buy the house without a contingency. So you almost have to just look at limited rental somewhere, like a 3-month rental or a 6-month rental in order to make this happen. So moving is uncomfortable regardless. So you might as well plan on being uncomfortable in this season if this is what you're planning on doing.
Roy Frazier, I see you on here. Lisa Hay, Chris Cannon, Ralph Pearson, Lee Barnes, Kevin Lacey. If y'all share, y'all could easily win that gift card on the alley on Main. I ain't seen you share it yet, but if you share it. Okay, well, hey, there's only been like 7. There's been 8 shares, so share this stream. You get a $25 gift card. Kevin Lacey, I'd love to see you share this. Take a picture and say, look here, you can be fit and eat at the alley on Main. Weatherman, do you want to give them your number 6 about the area?
Area is crucial in my opinion because as people move into the city, the first thing they ask is, I want to be in this school district or this school district. Or even what I'm noticing more than school district now is interstate access. People want to be close to the interstate or close to shopping. So if you live out in certain areas, it could hurt you as far as value. So let me give you an example. If you live in Puckett Station, which is where a lot of the big money folks live, if you live in Puckett Station, the desirability to get a house over there is very limited compared to if you live out on the Bedford County Shelbyville line.
Okay, well, somebody tells you, Weatherman, I want to be on Riverview Drive. That's the only street I want to live on. There's a house that just came up for sale. It's $399. I think it's worth $350.
You know what I'm gonna tell them?
Tell me.
It's worth $4.99. You better buy it at $3.99 for somebody else does.
So that mindset of going on to Riverview Drive, think you're gonna, because there's people on Riverview Drive that have literally paid $450 for the lot, the house to tear it down. I mean, so you've got to really understand what it is that you have or that you want to know what it could really be worth to somebody that could maximize that. So I agree with that. Every Wednesday we come to you, we do Real Estate 101 because our mission is to burn our brand in your brain. Weatherman, GTT, every Wednesday, 1 o'clock. Don't forget tomorrow night, Straight from the Gut. You know what I'm going to talk about tomorrow night, Kathleen?
Why?
I'm going to talk about your why, finding your why, because I feel like I found my why.
He's right beside you. Look to your left.
You're the greatest.
Look to your left.
You're the
There's
greatest.
your why.
But I think most people do not know their why. I think they know their why. But you've got to find a why so powerful it can overcome any single distraction, no matter what.
Is why and purpose pretty close?
Yes, we're going to call that the same thing. Okay. Just like it only different is Tim doesn't. No, I think it's the same.
Okay.
What is your purpose? What is your purpose? For me, being the #1 real estate for content is very important. I want to be the person that does this. No matter what, we're not missing Real Estate 101. That goal overcomes any excuse, distraction. It doesn't matter if I'm in Las Vegas.
Let me ask you a question. How long now? Here's a question. Has Real Estate 101 been going?
I think it's been going it's going on 2 years, maybe.
Wow.
Yes.
2 years. go to Good Time Tommy.
Hey,
for
to see
more.
the first ones.
If you want to see how bad I suck, go to YouTube. Buddy, I sweating, interviewing, lights on me. So I was just sitting there talking to this camera, like overthinking every single thing I was going to say. All right, everybody, thank you so much for